guys, so I'm starting off this Christmassy party eye with some Too Faced Shadow Insurance. This is an eye primer that's going to help keep everything in place all night long at your Christmas party, and it's going to help the colors of the eyeshadow stay nice and vibrant. I'm now just setting that with a little bit of pressed powder. Anything you have is grand. So I'm now going to use a warm brown eyeshadow. This is from Makeup Atelier Paris. I'll pop the palette name on the screen for you there. It is very, very pigmented and it's definitely more of an orangey brown color. So you'll see that I tapped quite a bit off and also tapped on the back of my hand to get rid of any excess product. So once I've blended that through the crease area, I'm going to take a darker brown color. This is just any standard dark brown will do that you have. This is MAC handwritten that I'm using, but most people have, sort of a dark brown eyeshadow. And I'm keeping that in the outer corner and slightly dragging it through. And this is a handy little sponge that comes from a company called Barely Cosmetics. It's got a hard definer sponge, and it's really great if you're not quite so confident with getting a sharper edge on the outer corner, because you can hold that flat edge against your eye and it'll help with that edge. Now adding a little bit of black to that outer V area, you'll see that I'm keeping the lid completely clear. And this is just going to add a little bit of depth and a little bit of dimension. I'm using a fluffy brush, so it goes on nice and softly, so you still get sort of a dense color, but the edges are blended out. And every time I do a step, I go back in with my original blending brush that I used the warm brown color on. So it just blends everything seamlessly together. I'm popping a little bit of MAC Soft Ochre Paint Pot across the lid. So this is going to help give me sort of a fake cut crease effect. And this is where we're going to pop down the lighter color and the glitters. So firstly, I'm going to pop down a loose pigment. This is from Collection Makeup, and it's pretty affordable. It's only a couple of pounds. You can get it in Superdrug. And this is in the color Magical, which is a white and gold sort of duochrome shimmery color. And it's just going to make a really nice base for the glitters we're going to put on top. So I'm going to go on with this white glitter from Makeup Atelier, and again the name will be on the screen there for you. And I'm going to put that on the inner corner of the eye and across about the middle of the lid. And then on that outer area, I'm going to put a more golden colored glitter. So now I'm taking some black shadow and I'm just working it into that rounded area and down onto the lash line. And now I'm taking a gel liner and I'm just going to create a winged liner with this. So with the glitter on the lid, it can sometimes make it a little bit more uneven for you to put the gel liner across. So you're better getting more on your brush, so it's a little bit thicker and a little bit wetter, so it might take a little bit longer to dry, but you're going to get a much smoother finish. Now to match up the wings, what I'm going to have Rachel do is look straight ahead for me so I can see how the wing looks when the eye is open and match it to the other eye, and then I'm going to draw that line in and fill in the wing shape. And I just want to double check by getting her to look at me there and make sure, do any little tweaks that you need to do. Sometimes one wing can be a little bit thicker than the other, or especially as I mentioned with the glitter, it can sometimes give a slightly uneven texture, so you might need to go in and sort of smooth the edge a little bit. So with the winged liner on, I'm now going to take that warm orangey brown color again, and I'm going to smudge that on a small bullet brush under the eye, quite close to the lower lash line, but I am going to blend it down a little bit because I'm going to put more color in at the lash line there. So I'm just using the brush I used to pop the powder across the whole lid to begin with, and I'm just going to blend that edge. I'm going back in with a smaller brush in the darker brown color, and I'm putting that right up tight to the lash line. I'm going to blend it down a little bit, so you're starting to create the same kind of effect that you did on the outer corner, where you're going from very dark black, which I'm popping on now, out to the warmer brown, out to the very lightest orangey brown color. And now I'm going to pop some of a gel pencil liner into the inner waterline. So I find with the gel pencils they're a little bit better because they are they tend to be a little bit more waterproof. I'm going to get Rachel to close her eyes here so I can really push that into the upper waterline as well. And that's going to help make that black liner look really thick. So I'm going to pop on some NARS mascara here. And then I'm also going to put on some Ardell DEMI Wispy lashes. So they're not super full, but they give a nice bit of length and they're a little bit fluttery. So they look really nice and pretty for the party season. And finally, I'm going to lift the remaining glitter on Rachel's face with a little bit of sticky tape. So if you just take a bit of the stick off on the back of your hand, and that'll help lift the excess glitter. So that's the finished look, guys. Please stay tuned for the next video, which I'm going to pop up, which is going to cover how to get this flawless, long-lasting base. And then finally, we are going to do this gorgeous red lip. Let me know what you think, and I'll talk to you all soon.